we are in full-blown dementia.
Yeah.
That it went down within 3 years.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, you touched on that.
Yeah, it's absolutely heartbreaking. I think that when it's one thing for me to lose the person that I love, but when you could see that she was aware of the fact that things were changing for her,
yeah,
that was more heartbreaking. There were things that were happening where she would think that it was load shedding, but she actually just hadn't turned the light switch on.
Oh.
And then she would say, oh, when I take off my clothes, there's like a lot of dust coming off. And I was like, what's going on? Then we realized that she was too scared to get into the shower because she had forgotten, or not forgotten, sorry, that's not what dementia is. It's the brain doesn't function in a way that tells you how the taps work.
Yes.
And she felt, as she kept saying, stupid.
There was always a lot of laughter when you three were together.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that for me, I remember just being in London together and also it was, sometimes the laughter was because it was so tragic. I would be laughing about things that had happened that were completely diabolical that we'd all witnessed because the three of us were friends. But there was no mother-daughter relationship. No. It was more of a three-way friendship, sisterhood. And there would be things that we talk about that would either completely take you out because it was so horrible, or you'd just be like, how ridiculous was that situation?
Right.
And the laughter would break the trauma bonding because it would be a case of, yes, we went through that, we survived it, and actually...
Look at us now.
You either laugh or cry.
Yeah.
And Mom just wanted chicken mayonnaise toasted sandwiches. And we went everywhere and tasted all the chicken mayonnaise toasted sandwiches.
Beautiful.
And then one day she took a bite, she just like spat it out and said, this is disgusting. And I could not stop laughing in and amongst the tears because that was the nature of the beast, so to speak, where what works in one chapter of the dementia doesn't necessarily work in the next. And it's like chalk and cheese. And you really are dealing with a very uncertain journey. But through it all, we found the laughter. We found, even right up until the end, there were days when Mom would be completely lying there, no movement, not listening to my words. And then she'd just open her eyes and go, oh, I love what you've done with your hair. And you'll be like in these floods of tears. And then my sister sitting next to me, she's cut all her hair off and it's peroxided blonde. So she's totally on the money.
Yeah.
And we think she's completely away with the fairies, doesn't know what's going on.
She knows what's happening.
Opens her eyes and just comments. And then we're like laughing through the tears.
Yes.
And so that was and is a coping mechanism that has worked all the way through. I really made sure that while we could spend time together, we did. And we did. We had shopping days and we went in the wheel and bubbles, and I took her to the places she would never treat herself to.
Right.
And I remember she was in the car and she was just like, I can't believe that this is where I'm at, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And I said to her, it's like heartbreaking to witness you realizing what's happening, but at the same time, it's such an honor to be able to hold the space for you. And in the tears and the heartbreak, we were able to just find a space of it is happening, but we're going to make the best of it together. And I think that when I think back on those times, it was always made sweeter by the fact that we were aware of what was happening, and we chose to honor the, as you say, the layers that fall away